our TIMO MAC exam for secondary one. And I can see that there's a lot of students that are here, 47. Most are from some of my students a while ago, also in the session for VITAMs, but today we'll be having some students coming from other countries. Again, welcome and good evening. We are going to have our TIMO mock exam session for this evening from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. So we are going to discuss another set of questions that might go out in relation to your TIMO final round this coming weekend. So without further ado, we'll try to start now. And we're currently 60:58. For those who are late, they will be going in lang later on. So I'll be as much as possible. Please do tell me because sometimes I might go back to my native language, Filipino or Filipino language. So I know that there are some students here that are not from the Philippines. So again, welcome to our TIMO mock exam secondary one session in preparation for your TIMO final round next week. So we will start now. But before we start and with the first set of questions, we're going first with the class rules. So may I request, kindly mute your microphone at all times. Only open your mic when you have something to say. But before you do that one, please make sure to use the raise hand button and wait for me to acknowledge you. Then be attentive and as much as possible, feel free to interact with the class. As much as possible, interact using our chat box, but still please use the chat box responsibly. Do not hesitate to ask questions and refrain yourselves from bullying and discriminating your classmates because it's recorded. So you might have that those are being recorded also. So as much as possible, we don't do that one. Okay. So again, if you want any question, if you want to say something, please use the raise hand button. And if ever that you're shy, you can use also the direct message button and to use in the chat so that I will acknowledge you also from that. Not no naming names for those who are using direct message. Okay. So before we start, may I see first and in the chat box, can you say good evening? In the chat box. Good evening, everyone. To check if you are here, I am expecting 66 chats of good evening because 67 because we're 68 right now. Okay, good evening, everyone. Good evening again for those who are my students a while ago in the session number 3 for TIMO sessions. And for those who are here also, good evening from other countries, Thailand, Vietnam, so on and so forth. Can you also chat which country you're from? Good evening, then good evening from the Philippines, good evening from your country, so they can see which country are we having right now. Good evening from Philippines, good evening from Thailand, Vietnam. Whoa, the Philippines, good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening. Oh, from Indonesia also, Vietnam, Indonesia. That's quite good. So we're reaching farther and farther. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Okay. Good evening. Okay, so we'll try to start now. Okay, please do tell me if I'm lucky, if you cannot understand what I'm speaking, and ask from questions from that. As much as well. Me, I'm Sir Margustin. I'm from the Philippines. Secondary 1 is for grade 7. Grade 7. Secondary 2 is for grade 8. Yes. Okay, sige. We'll start now, everyone. We'll start with the very first question. Oh, again, may I request to kindly don't annotate unless otherwise if you want to annotate, I forgot that one. I forgot to put that one. I think in the other chat box. No annotation unless otherwise you want to annotate. Please ask permission from me also. Okay. Sige. Or sorry, let's try to move forward now. Everyone, let's try to start. Okay, I mean in the Philippines it's 6 to 8, but it means that if Right now it's 6 p.m. in the Philippines. I know some other countries right now have different timelines. So we'll be finishing within the 2 hour span. So with that being said, we'll try to start now with problem number 1. Okay, here's the question number 1. There are some chickens and goats in a farm. The number of chickens is 6 times the number of goats, and the total number of legs of chickens is 112, more than the total number of legs of the goats. How many goats are there? Goat or goats are there? Okay, so I'll be giving you time also to try. I'll be giving you time also to share your answer. If you're shy, you can chat in the chat box privately and share your answers also. But as much as possible before going forward with the solution. So while I'm answering the session, you can still put your answers. Yes, please write your answers in the chat. Yes, if you're grade 8, transfer to secondary 2. Okay, 14 goats, 14. Okay, if you're shy with your answer, you can chat it direct message also to me. Okay, that is correct. That's 14. So we have a lot of ways for this one, but we can also we can do some letting for this one, no? We can do let. Okay, so with that one being said, we're going to have our solution for this in terms of letting x. So you let x be the number of chicken. Okay, you can let x to be the number of chickens. Let x be the number of chickens. Number of chickens, and let 6, because of that, because 6 times the number of goats, the goats will be 6x, 6 times the number of chickens. No, sorry, it's the other way around. I'm so sorry for that. The number of goats will be x, and therefore the number of chickens will be 6x, because it's 6 times the number of goats, correct? So 6x times 2. This is for the total for the legs. We don't put it anymore after that one. So this is for 6x for the goats. There are 6x for the chicken, so 2 legs of the chicken, minus 4x, so 4 times the legs of the goats, because we're trying to get their difference to be 112. But you can actually express it the other way around. You have a lot of algebra for this one also that you will have, and you will still get the correct answer. So we can we subtracted the number of legs of the chicken and the legs of the goats minus the legs of the chicken, and we have the difference of 112. So we have 8x to be 112, and therefore x is equal to 14. So there are 14 goats. Again, you can have yes, again, secondary 1 is for grade 7. Grade 7. Secondary 1 is for grade 7. If you are grade 8, please do transfer to breakout room for secondary 2. Breakout room for secondary 2. Secondary 1 is grade 7. Thank you for that. If you're grade 8, please do transfer. Yes, Madeline, any question with this solution?
There's something wrong, but my set is different. It says second to be secondary 1. My first question is find the number of 4-digit positive numbers that have a product equal.
Okay, wait. Uh-huh. Is that for secondary 1?
It says secondary 1.
Okay, I think that one was for the TIMO session number 3. Okay, a while ago you were not there in the session. This is a different session for the mock test. So there are 2 sessions actually for the
Oh, okay.
Philippines
Thank you.
this week. Okay, so this one is different set. I think yeah, a while ago you were not there during the session number 3. That's why uh I think you're referring to session number 3 of TIMO heat round or final round preparations for the Philippines, those who have opted to have session. Okay, sige. Okay, now I mean, let's try to move forward to the next question. I might forget that we are having international students here. Okay, let's try to move forward to question number 2. The correct answer is again 14, and that's the one way for doing that one. Let's try to move forward to the second one. According to the pattern shown below, what should be the number filled in the blank? 3, 7, 23, 87, and blank. 3, 7, 23, 87, and blank. Again, according to the pattern as shown below, what should be the number filled in the blank? 3, 27, 3, 7, 23, 87, and blank. You can write your answers while I'm showing the solution. Correct. It's 343. So what's the pattern for this? So most of the time, we can actually try to study the pattern. Most of the time, we study the difference or what will we add. So for here, we'll have like 3 times 3, we'll add 4. Here we're adding by 23. So 23 minus 7, that will become 16. 87, 87 minus 23, we have 64. So it's like multiplying by 4 all throughout. So it could be like the one that we'll be adding here is 64 times 4. That will become 256. That's one way. So 87 plus 256 will be getting 343. Also, we can see also the other pattern. Okay, it will give you idea also, since we're trying to multiply this one here by 4 in the pattern of the common difference, it might be that what we're doing in the first term to get the next one is actually multiplying by 4, which is correct. We multiply 3 by 4, but there's a little bit of a subtraction. So 3 times 4, that's 12. Then minus 5, that's 7. 7 times 4 minus 5, that's 23, so on and so forth. So to get the next one after 87, that's 87 times 4, that's 348, minus 5, that's 343. So two methods, each give us still the same answer. It will be depending upon you. So the first one, most of the time, is we check the sum or the common difference or the differences, and you can study from there the pattern also. If not common difference, we can try to check also the sum of that or the product. It might be that we're multiplying to get the next one. Are we clear with that one? Question, clarification for this number 2? Again, question, clarification for number 2. Okay, give you 30 seconds to ask that one. Okay, I think there's none. Let's try to move forward to problem number 3. How about this one? Okay, let's try to go with problem number 3. How about this one? Okay, see, okay, let's try to have this one here. Okay, so we have here the ratio A is to B. Again, you can send your answer. Oh, we're currently having 95. I'm hoping that you can hear me clearly. Okay, we're at this next question. Question number 3 or problem number 3. Given that A is to B is 5 is to 2, B is to C is 3 is to 7, and C is to D is 2 is to 3, and A plus B plus C plus D is equal to 455, what is the value of B, A? Okay, what's the value of your B? Oh, this actually B over A. Okay, wait. What's the value of? Oh, it's a typographical error. It's what's the value of your A here? Not BA. That's what's the value of your A in this given. Okay, the question here is what's the value of your A in this given? So how will we solve this question exactly? It's a little bit of a shortcut here. The one that you can see, again, may I request everyone to mute yourselves. Okay, okay. So for this one here, actually, we're going to make a proper ratio for all of them. So we can actually ratio all of them. A is to B is to C is to D, then line them up. First things first, A is to B, so we put it here. 5 is to 2. Then we have the ratio between B is to C. So we put in the second level, 3 is to 7. So we LCM them, and we'll be having a ratio because the LCM of 2 and 3 is 6. So you multiply also the 5 by 3. So 15 is to 6. From 5 is to 2, it will become 15 is to 6. Then from 3 is to 7, it will become 6 is to 14. With that being said, we'll be having a ratio of 15 is to 6 is to 14. Then, lastly, we inline it with the ratio of 2 is to 3 for the C is to D. So we inline the one that is C there. So that's, we can actually multiply 2 to make it 14 by 7. So you multiply also the 3 by 7. That's why it will become the common ratio, or the ratio for all of them, A is to B is to C is to D will become 15, is to 16, is to 6, is to 14, is to 21, which is, we can add them up all together. That will become our ratio, or the sum ratio. Because after that one, if you have that sum ratio, we can add them up, or let's say we can technically put that one in terms of X, but you can do that one as also as a sum ratio. So if you add them up, that will become like 6 plus 14 plus 21 plus 15. That will become 56. So that's like 56x. So to get that x, that ratio or unit ratio, so we divide 455 by 56, we'll be having 65 over 8. This is 65 over 8, right? Then you times it by 45. So times 45, that will become 2,925 over 8, or simplify that one to be, wait, is it 455? 455 divided by, is it 56? 15 plus 6 plus 14 plus 21. Yeah, that's 56. So 455 divided by 56, then times 15. Yeah, it's 975 over 8, or 121 and 7 eighths. And that is the value of your A. Any question and clarification for that one before you move forward to the next number? I'm hoping that that one is clear so far, everyone. We can have different solutions for that one also, but that will be it, or that will be our solution for this. Okay, I can see that there's none. So we move forward to the next number. Question number 4. How about this one? Robert goes 15 kilometer west and then goes 36 kilometers south. How far in kilometer is he now from the original position? Again, we do have Robert goes 15 kilometers west, and we do have also 36 kilometers south. So for those who don't know, we'll try to see. We have again north and south here, and we do have east to west here. So we have north, south, we have west, and we have east here, right? So from a original position, if you want to go west, it's going to the left. So from this position, yes, what, you have any answer? You can actually put in your answers for this one. How far is he from the original position? Let's try to have. That is 39. But we'll try to see first, how did we get that one? We need to see the diagram for this. So from the original position, we'll be traveling 15 kilometers west, 15 kilometers west, like that. Then it went south, going down. Okay, here. 15 km, then going down south by 36 kilometers. That's 36 here. Then we'll be making a right triangle, and we're trying to find this distance, letter D distance, and we can do that one by Pythagorean theorem. Square root of 15 squared plus 36 squared, which is equivalent to square root of 225 plus 1296. Although there is actually a little bit of a faster one in doing that one, because we can do a little bit of trigonometric ratio like this. 15 is to 36 could be simplified into 5, or no, divided by 3. 5 is to 12, right? 5 is to 12. So therefore, we can say that this is 5 is to 12 is to 13. There's a Pythagorean triple. So meaning, with that being said, we have a need to be 13. So what did we multiply to 5 to make it 15? That's all times 3 times 3. So therefore, times 13 times 3 will be having 39. And that's a shorter way, actually a mental math way of finding 39. Okay, using Pythagorean triple. But again, you can do still if you're not that fond or not yet in relation to Pythagorean triple, you can have also your right or Pythagorean theorem. Again, question clarification for that one. And the answer for that is 39 kilometers or 39. And clarification for that one before we move forward to question number 5. I think this one's a little bit easy, right? The first few questions, the first few questions are all logical thinking questions, right? They're logical thinking questions. Okay, logical thinking questions. Okay. Yes. Okay. I can see no question. I can see no question. So we'll try to move forward to question number 5. Problem 5. Find the average of the following sequence. Find the average of the following sequence. Okay. Anyone has an answer for this? What will be the answer for this one? I think you have seen the answer. It's 170. But what is a shortcut for that? How can do we can actually do this one mentally, right? This question is a mental math question, right? So how do we do that one? No, I'm just joking. We cannot do it mentally. Maybe we can. We can try. For this one, kasi, or for this one, we are actually having uh we're actually having what kind of sequence is this? It's what we call arithmetic sequence because there's adding by 5, or adding a certain same number to get the one, plus 5, plus 5, plus 5. So if it's an arithmetic sequence, we can actually find the average by just adding the first number plus last divided by 2. And that's how we find the average for, this is only working for arithmetic sequence or a sequence that has a common difference. Arithmetic sequence or a sequence, sorry for my handwriting, arithmetic sequence, but or a sequence that has a common difference. So you can just add the first and the last divided by 2. So mentally you can have it like 340. 340 divided by 2, that's 170. So as you can see, the average of this is 170 without adding everything. And that will become the solution for this one. Question and clarification for this. Answer is 170. Again, I'll be giving you time to ask a question if ever there is. Okay. So, okay, no question. If there's none, let's try to move forward to the next number, problem number 6. Okay, how about this one? The question states that there are some chickens and goats in a farm. The number of chickens is 3 times the number of goats. So somewhat similar to the same question a while ago. How many goats are there? Question number 1. A little bit similar. Yeah, we can have this one. A little bit of a shortcut. So for this one, we can do this method. We can get that there are 12 goats there. But how will we solve that one? Exactly. So again, we will going to let um, the number of chickens is 3 times the number of goats. So if you let the number of chickens to be C, and that will become 6 times G. And that's G for the number of goats. That's for the goats. So therefore, they have 120 legs all in all. Okay, in total. So in terms of the legs of the chicken, that will become 2 times C plus 4 times G is equal to 120, like that. Okay, so what will be your answer? Yeah, that there are 12. Right, there are 12. So we can have that one. So we can change or substitute your C to 6G. So 2 times 6G, that will become 12G plus 4G is equal to 120. So that will become equivalent to, no, 3 times, sorry. That should be 3 times, not 6 times. Okay, I'm so sorry for that. So 2 times 3, G, the number of chickens is 3 times. I think I went back to question number 1, which is 6 times. So 2 times 3, that's 6 plus 4, that's 10G is equal to 120. So therefore, the number of goats will become equivalent to 12. So there are 12 goats all in all here. Question clarification for that one. Okay. I think it's a typographical error is the 179. It's okay. Again, no. Use chat box responsibly, everyone. Okay. We'll try to move forward to the next question. Question number 7. Question number 7. Okay. I think there's no question for this. Let's try to go to question number 7 now. Okay. How about this question? Let's try to have this one. Given 7 to 12 are actually algebra questions. 1 to 6 are logical thinking questions. 7 to 12 are algebra questions. So we'll be doing algebra for this one. So here's the question. Given A and B are real numbers and satisfying the equations, A plus B is equal to 15 and AB is equal to 45. Find the value of A squared plus B squared. That is what being asked right now here in this question. What is the value of A squared plus B squared? So the answer is, or what will be your answer? That's equal to 100 and 135. Let's try to check if that's a correct answer for that question. So how will we solve for this one? Okay, yeah, it's correct. It's 135. So one way of doing that one is to make sure that we know that this expansion, we know that a plus b quantity squared is actually equivalent to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So if we'll try to simplify that one, we're trying to get a squared plus b squared. So we can actually transpose the 2ab to the other side. And what will be left is a squared plus b squared here is equal to a plus b quantity squared minus 2ab. We have a plus b, which is 15. So 15 squared minus 2 times 45, which is 90. So 225 minus 90, that's 135. And you can have a lot of other ways of doing that one, but you can also do this. A squared plus b squared is a plus b quantity squared minus 2ab. But please do take note, this is the main special product for this. A plus b squared is equal to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Now, question and clarification for question number 7. Can any question and clarification for question number 7? Are we too fast in the solution? Please do tell me. Question clarification for this one. I can see again that there's none. I can see that these are very, very bright group. Okay, let's try to move forward then to the next part of the discussion. How about this one? Find the value of x in this expression or this equation. Okay, I'll be giving you 30 seconds to 1 minute to try to solve this one first. Okay, we have 27, 27, 27. Okay, let's try to check if that's correct answer. That's actually, ooh, bakit iba? The answer is 27, but my answer is 18. Ooh, let's try to check. Baka mali yun sa answer key. Wait, is it different question? Wait lang. Wait. Okay. Oh, let's try to check. It might be, no? It might be different yung given, but let's try to double check. -9. Okay, let's try to check that one. How did we solve it? Yeah, that's a little bit maybe the mistake for that one. Yeah, it's -9, right? Okay, let's try to check. So we distribute the negative. So take note that when you simplify this, we need to distribute the negative. So, or the minus sign. So 15x distribute, then we need to eliminate the parentheses. But before we can eliminate the parentheses, we need to distribute the negative. So it'll become like negative 6x. Then you have negative times negative 9. That's plus 9. Distribute again the negative here, negative 7x. Then that will become minus 45. Okay, that's a little bit of a common mistake when you distribute that one. So next time, be careful, everyone. I'm hoping that you'll be careful with that one. Okay, so if you simplify that one, it'll become 15x minus 6x, then plus 9 minus 7x minus 45. Then we combine like terms. 15 minus 6 and 7, it's negative 13x. So 15x minus 13x, that's 2x. And you have 9 minus 45, that's 36. So by transposition, you have 2x is equal to 36. Dividing it by 2, we can have x is equal to 18. So the correct answer for this question is actually 18. Oh, because you added 9 and 45. Yeah. Be careful. So be careful with that one then. Okay, please be careful with that one. Okay, please be careful with your sign and distribution. Okay, question and clarification with that one, everyone. It's okay. It's a learning process for that one then. Okay, hoping that you'll learn something and hoping that you will apply that one. Be careful with the sign. Actually, that's a little bit of, yeah, as much as possible, double check your solution. It's okay. It's okay. Double check. Sometimes the answer key might be not the same with the correct answer. It sometimes have a different solution. Okay, and maybe in the final, but in the test, I know that the solutions are all correct there. It's okay. It's okay. Let's try to move forward then. So trust your own answer. Trust your own answer. Okay. But you need to double check so that you can know. Okay. Let's try to move forward now to the next question. Problem number 9. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to open. We have problem number 9. We have x squared factors. Factorize or factor completely. Factor completely. X squared plus 5x minus 84. Factor completely x squared minus 5 plus 5x minus 84. How will we factor this one and what will be the technique in solving this one? We'll be having, okay, so we'll be checking actually the factor of 84 that when we add it up, that will be having a sum or difference or sum of 5 actually. So we'll be having, check, 84, technically negative 84 to be exact. We need negative 84, okay? So technically when you add them, it will be minus, so we have 12, negative 12. No, it should be positive 12 and negative 7, like that. So if you add that one, that will become equivalent to 5, and that will be our factor. So therefore, because of that, we can have x minus 7 and x plus 12, because 12 times 7 or negative 12 times, or 12 times negative 7 will give us negative 84. So the correct answer is that one. Question and clarification. You can actually arrange it into other ways. You can have x plus 12 times x minus 7 or x minus 7 times x plus 12. It's interchangeable. Okay, are we clear with that one, everyone? Question clarification with that number. Problem number 9. We're getting faster and faster with this. I can see that there's none. Okay, let's try to move forward to question number 10. How many integral solutions? Integral solutions means integer solutions are there for x if 5x plus 20 is less than 55. 5x plus 20 is less than 55. Okay, your answers are 666. Let's try to check if that's the correct answer. What will we do for this one? How many positive integral solutions? So positive numbers only and integer. So we can just technically distribute or transpose, same with inequality. This is linear inequality only, so we can transpose the 20 to the other side. So we have 5x is less than 55 minus 20, or that's 35. and divide 35 by 5, that's 7. But take note, 7 is not part of the solution because of the fact that it's only less than. X is less than 7. So the positive numbers less than 7 are numbers from 1 to 6 only. Right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 6 positive integral solution for this question. Oh, yeah, 6. We don't bring the 7. 7 is not part of the solution because it's less than 7. X is less than 7. So 7 is not less than itself. We'll be using only, if we put it in a number line, that's actually from, or interval from, that's negative infinity to 7, but 7 is not included. So we'll be using only the integer values or integral values to be equivalent to 1 to 6. So there's 6. Are we clear with that one? Wait lang. No, no, no. It's they might have caught 7 or what? Okay. It's okay. Can you speak in English as much as possible? Okay. Yes, 0 is neither positive nor negative. So again, to be exact, so that there's no question, 0 is a neutral number, neither positive nor negative. Okay, we're only dealing with positive integers here. 7 is not part of the solution because it's less than 7. So we have only 1 to 6 to clear up things. Yeah, it's neutral. We call it neutral number. Okay, are we clear with that one, everyone? Shall we proceed to the next question? Oh, am I too fast? Please do tell me. Okay, please do tell me if I'm too fast so that I can lower down my speed also. Okay, and so that everyone can learn from this session. But we will not go about or go after 8 o'clock. So we'll be finishing it as much as possible before 8. Okay, let's try to move forward now. Can we focus first, take the questions on me and clarification in the chat box, please? Okay, please. Okay, let's try to move forward now to the next question. Okay, let's try to focus on the next question. Okay, let's try to have it, everyone. And again, please use the chat box as what we call this one, as responsible as we can. Okay, let's try to move forward to the next question. Problem number 11. Find the value of x in this number. Okay, in this expression, 5x plus 7y is equal to negative 11. 6x minus 7y is equal to 33. Okay, maybe they're quite fast on, they're quite fast. They might be very, very fast. Later on, you can actually, well, as you go higher, maybe, you can actually solve these questions mentally. I think, yeah, this question is a little bit a mental math question, I think. Yeah, I can do it mentally. But as you go higher, you can do it mentally. Oh, yes. Because for this one, actually, the process will be, we're just solving for x. So your answer is only for x. Again, please, everyone, if you're, please ask permission first if you want to annotate. Okay, the solution will be x is equal to 2. How did I did it mentally? This is the process, actually, but we can do it mentally still. As you can see, the equation, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. As much as possible, okay, let's try to move forward then. You can add the equation there. If you add it up, as you can see, the 7y and negative 7y will cancel out each other because they're negative. And after that one, we'll be having 5x plus 6x. We added the two equation to be exact. So that's 11x, negative 11 plus 33, that's 22. So 11x is equal to 22, so x is equal to 2. So you can do that one like a little bit of a mental math for that. And there you go, the answer is 2. Right? That's a little bit of a fast solution for that. Or is it too fast? Am I too fast, everyone? Or I mean, Kiev? Kiev, is that Kiev? Okay. Okay. Maybe they have answered it already beforehand. Okay, I think the mock test was given to you last time already. Yeah, but having the good time will be like the faster that you can be, the better, because you can have a lot of questions to answer if you're quite faster. Okay, we'll try to move forward to the next question then. Okay, can everyone, as much as possible, one last time, please. Please don't annotate in this on the screen. Okay, let's try to move forward to the next question. Find the sum of the possible values of x in this expression. Absolute value of x minus 5 plus absolute value of x plus 5. Yes, Madeline, any question for that one?
Sorry about the previous question. How could
Yes.
that be done mentally? Like, how does that work?
What do you mean? But how is that work?
Question 10. I mean, 11.
Question number 11.
You
Yes.
said that it could be done eventually, mentally, eventually. Like, how does that work? Like, it's unfathomable.
Yeah, you just add again the two equations. In your mind, you can cancel out the negative 7 if you add them up, right? Kasi positive 7 plus negative 7y will become 0. Positive 7 plus a negative number. Positive 7 plus negative 7 is 0. So you'll have 11x is equal to 22. Negative 11 plus 33 is just addition of 33 and negative 11. So we just subtract because of that. So this will become 22. So how many 11s are there in 22? 32. Maybe just right now you cannot do it mentally yet, but later on, as you go higher, you can do it mentally. Question clarification with that one. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Welcome. Okay. Okay, let's try to move forward with the next one. Question number 12. What's the answer? What's the sum of all the possible values of x in this question? Ah, yeah, what will be the answer for this one? Okay, the answers are -2. How will we solve for that one? Okay, so this is the proper way of solving this question, actually. Okay, so we need to a little bit do what we call the sign table, and we'll be using the zeros of the fraction. Okay, so we'll try to get all the possible values of your variables here, right? All the possible values of the variables here. So how will we do that one? Okay, so to solve for this, we need to take note that you have the zeros x minus 5 is equal to 0. So one of your zeros is 5. If you transpose it, then you have x plus 7 is equal to 0. That's one of your 0. X is equal to -7, like that. Okay, with that being said, those are the zeros or your interval. So you can have less numbers less than 7, numbers in between -7 and 5, and numbers greater than or equal to 5. So if the numbers are less than -7, the sign of 5 here, both of them are negative on that situation. Both absolute value of x minus 5 and absolute value of x plus 5 are negative there. That's why it became negative of x minus 5 minus x plus 7 distribute. I think I skipped some parts. So that's negative x plus 5 minus x minus 7 is equal to 24. So if you simplify that to 1, that will become negative 2x, then negative 2, that's equal to positive 26. So therefore, yeah, x is equal to negative 13 due to that. And the other side, the second one, if it's in between negative 7 and 5, in between, your negative 7 will become positive in that situation, and your x, or your y part, or your 5 will still be negative, because it will become positive only if your x is greater than or equal to -5. So if you simplify that to 1, the negative x will cancel out each other, and that will not be a valid equation. So there's no solution there from -7 to 5. And last but not the least, we go to the numbers greater than 5. So both of them are positive. If you simplify that one, that's 2x plus 2. is equal to 24. So 2x is equal to 22, and therefore x is equal to 11. By that, those are the two possible values of x, negative 13 and positive 11. So adding them up, that will become negative 2. Question and clarification for that one. Okay, question clarification. Yeah, x is greater than 5. Your x is greater than 5 is already part of x greater than or equal to 5. Okay, your question clarification for that one again. Again, your x, what if x is greater than 5? That's also there. That's also what will happen. If x is greater than 5, the solution will also be 11 still. It's part of the solution of x is greater than 5. That's the rule of absolute value, actually. That's a proper way of solving that one. You need to have interval forms. Again, because the zeros is negative 7. So negative 7, negative infinity to 7. Then we have the interval from negative 7 to 5, and the other interval to be 5 to positive infinity. Okay, and those are the parts. So that's where you will see what is assigned. Again, question, clarification for that one, everyone? Okay, I think that is clear. Let's try to move forward to question number 13. The question's a little bit getting harder, as I can see. Okay, how about this one? In the rational number x is equal to 3 plus 10 over 3 plus 10 over 3 plus 10 and so on. This is what we call infinity over infinity. And x is greater than 0. What will be the value of your x in this given? What is the value for x in this given? Oh, 5, 5. Give you time to try to solve. If ever that I know some of you have not solved it yet, but yeah, but we need to double time also. See, 5. Let's try to see how will we solve this one. This is what we call an infinity inside an infinity. So if you try to look at it, this is an infinitely repeating expression. If you do that one and you try to look at this one here, the expression repeats again here, starting here and so on, if you disregard the first two parts. So because of that, this is also representing the variable x because it's 3 plus 10 over 3 plus 10 and over 3 plus 10. That's like the paradoxicality of your infinity. But because of that paradoxicality or paradox, we can say that this one is also equivalent to x. And right now your x is just equal to 3 plus 10 over x. And after that one, we can do a little bit of a quadratic equation, multiply both sides by x. You'll be having x squared is equal to 3x plus 10. Then transpose 3x and 10 to the other side. We have x squared minus 3x minus 10 is equivalent to 0. And therefore, you can factor that one out. What's the factor of negative 5? 10, I mean, that adds up to negative 3. That's positive 2 and negative 5. So x plus 2 times x minus 5 for that matter is equivalent to 0. So therefore, your x is either 5 by transposition. Again, x minus 5 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 5, or x plus 2 is equal to 0, or x is equal to negative 2. But because x is greater than 0 only, we'll reject the negative 2. And therefore, answer natin for the answer for this question is on the equivalent to 5. That's good. That's good for that number. Are we clear with that one for question number 13? Question and clarification for this? Again, question, clarification for this one. Okay, I can see that there's none. Okay, let's try to move forward to question number 3. Okay, question number, no, 14, I mean. Question number 3. When a three-digit number is divided by 7, 5, or 4, and the remainder is 3 in all the 3 cases, the question is, what is the minimum value or possible value of the three-digit number? Okay, how will we solve this question? We'll be giving it a minimum value of the three-digit number. Okay, how will we solve this? Try to see and answer the question.
I'm playing with the paper cups that I'm going to use
Yes. May I request? Okay. Let's try to have this one. Okay. 143. 143, 143. Ooh, 423. Is it typographical error? 423 or 123? 143, I mean. Okay, well, which is which? Okay, let's try to solve it then. It's 143. What's the method for this? Because when you divide a three-digit number by 7, 4, and 5, the the remainder is 3. We can just actually find first the LCM of 7, 4, and 5, or 4, 5, and 7, which is because all of them are relatively prime to each other. They don't have a common factor. We can basically multiply them. So that's 4 times 5 times 7. That's 140. But if they do have a common factor, you need to take note that you need to find the LCM, least common multiple. So that's 140. So what will you do for that one? The numbers that actually have that kind of scenario or relation will be 140, the LCM, x plus 3. Your x will be any number, or 140n. Most of the time, the variable is n, where your n is any natural number. Your n is like natural numbers 1, 2, 3, so on. Okay, so that will be like the value. Any value that form will have a remainder 3 when you divide it by 7. But we're trying to find the smallest three-digit number, so we can basically add 140 by 3, and it will give us 143, and that's the smallest. Actually, that's the smallest number. That's not only the smallest three-digit number, but the smallest among the numbers that when you divide by 7, 5, and 4, the remainder will be 3. Question, clarification for that one? Again, question, clarification for that one, everyone? Before we move forward to question number 15. Question number 15, walang question? Okay, let's go to question number 15. Find the sum of all the positive factors of 448. Ito, sum of all the positive factors. That will become positive factors, not the number of factors. Sum of all positive factors. 14 only? I think you mean the number of factors for that, not the sum. If it's the number of factors, that will become 14, right? Okay, let's try to differentiate. The question here is the sum of all the factors, which is 1016. That's the answer. But for the number of factors, I think the 14 is the number of factors. So the answer key, number of factors. How many factors are there? So that will become 14 because when we do the number of factors, what will we do is we add each of the exponent by 1. 6 plus 1 times 1 plus 1. Exponent of 7 is 1. Add each of the exponents of the prime factors by 1, then multiply. So that's 7 times 2. There are 14 factors. But we're trying to get here the number or the sum of all the factors. Yeah, that's for the number of factors. But for the sum of all the positive factors, that's not the solution. That's not 14. Okay, are we clear with that one? It's not 14. The sum of all the factors could be solved by this. You just need to add the powers. There are two prime factors here, 2 raised to and 7. So this is 2 raised to 6, right? So you add all the factors or powers of 2 until 6. So that will become 2 raised to 0 plus 2 raised to 2 plus 2 raised to 1, 2 until 6. Then also 7. Powers of 7 until to the highest factor, which is for this case 1. So 7 raised to 0 until 7 raised to 1, or technically 1 plus 7. So that'll become, how do we solve this one faster? We can also use the exponential form for this, or for the powers of 2, then the solution for that one will become a geometric sequence formula. S sub n is equal to a sub 1 times r raised to n plus 1 minus 1 over what is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you have like 2 over 2 minus 1. So it become like 2 raised to 8. Is it correct? 2 raised to 8. 2 raised to 8. Oh, minus 1 divided by 2. No. So it's only r raised to n lang pala. R raised to n only. So that will become 2 raised to 7. Your first term is 1. 2 raised to 7 minus 1 divided by 2 minus 1. So that will become 127 for the case of 1 to 6. Then 1 plus 7 is 8. So 127 times 8, that will become equivalent to 1016. 127 times 8, that's 1016. And that's the sum. Sum, you add up all the factors. And that's a shorter way of doing that one. Yes. No, 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 no. That's not what we're doing here. Yeah, the problem is to find the sum. So basically, if the other method is actually find all the factors. What are the factors of 448? 1 and 448, 2 and 224, 3 and what? It's not divisible by 3. 4 and what? 112, like that one, and add them out. But sometimes, if that's your method, you might forget 1 or 2 factors. If you will forget 1 or 2 factors, your answer will be wrong. You'll be adding quite a long way. That's why it's quite longer method. That's why this is a shorter method. Again, the method is this. You do prime factorization. You do the prime factorization. Then after you did the prime factorization for the number of factors, I mean, for the sum of all the factors, let's try to erase all the other parts so that you will understand it. Again, the sum, or to solve for the number of factors or the sum of all the factors, still we do the prime factorization. And after that one, we will be multiplying, since all the prime factors exponent from first to last, from 2 raised to 0. Here we have 2 raised to 6 and 7. That's the algorithm, so it's not exact formula, but a process. So, but it will be correct for all. So we'll be adding 2 raised to 0 until 2 raised to 6. Because the power of 2 is until 6, then we have 7 raised to 0 until 7 raised to 1. If there's like, let's say 5 raised to 3, then you'll be multiplying it also from 5 raised to 0 plus 5 raised to 1 plus 5 raised to 2 plus 5 raised to 3 and multiply them all together. But again, since in this question, we only have the prime factors 2 raised to 6 and 7, that's what we are going to do on the 2 raised to 0 until 2 raised to 6 times 1 plus 7. So that'll become 127 times 8 only. Yeah. The formula for this one, for the S, is for the geometric sequence. The sum for geometric sequence. For this one, sum of geometric sequence. What are geometric sequence? A sequence that when you add, I know, to get the next one, you add or multiply a common number here, times 2 to get the next one. So it'll become a sub 1, the first term, times r, the common ratio, the one that you're multiplying, raised to n minus 1 all over r minus 1. It's interchangeable. Sometimes 1 minus r raised to n over 1 minus r. So for this case, your a sub 1 is 1. We're talking about this one. This is geometric sequence. So a sub 1 is 1. Your r, because we're multiplying it by 2, so times 2. And your n is equal to 7 because there are 7 terms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's why we can solve this one as a sub 1, which is 1. R is 2 raised to 7 minus 1 all over 2 minus 1. Okay, 2 minus 1. So what is 2 raised to 7? That's 128 minus 1. That's 127 all over 1 times 1. So that's 127. The sum of this is 127. 1 plus 7 is simple. That's 8. And therefore, that's the final answer for that one. Did I explain the S part? The sum of geometric sequence? Are we clear with that one? Welcome. Any question and clarification for that? Are we clear with this? Okay, if that is clear, let's try to move forward to the next question. Question number 16. Okay. Find the unit digit of this expansion. 2 plus 7 squared plus 12 raised to 3 plus 17 raised to 4 plus 5 raised to 2 and so on and so forth. 7 raised to 12. So here, in this pattern, you will see that the ending or the answer will become on the 0. But how did it become 0? It's because we are having the powers of 2 and 7. Okay, wait. 2 and 7 only. Why did we have 2 and 7? And based on the pattern, the last digit is 2 and 7. So your 2 is raised to an odd number, and your 7 is raised with an even number. So 7 raised to even, like that. So as you can see, if it's 2, if you're odd, that's if you're odd, there are either 2 raised to 1, it's 2, and 2 raised to 1 is 2, and we have also 2 raised to 3, which is 8. So it's either 2828 for the case of 2, and for the case of 7, 7 squared is 9, and if it's 7 raised to 4, that's 1. So 8181. So as you can see, there will be like 2891 for the 7, 28 for the 291 again, 2891. So if you can see that one, there's 12. So every 4, the pattern is just going back. 2981, then another 2981, another 2981. So 12, there are 12 terms here kasi that's 2 raised to 1 until 57 raised to 12. So there are 12 terms. So there will be 3 sets of 4 that will add up to 20. So therefore, each one ends with 0. So 0 plus 0 plus 0, all in all, the ending of the whole expression or the units digit or the ones digit is 0. And that will become the answer for this question. Question and clarification for that one. Are we clear with this? And question clarification with this one? Are we clear with this? If that is clear, let's try to move forward to the next question. Question number 17. Okay, x is congruent to 7 mod 10. What find the maximum value of this 2-digit number? 7 mod 10. So a number that when you divide by 7, that will become ending with 10. So we're trying to find the maximum number for that. So actually we can do this thing down. What's the meaning of 7 mod 10? It means that a number when you divide it by 10, the remainder is 7. So all of those numbers actually ending with 7 will do 17, 7 itself, 17, 27. Again, the meaning of 7 mod 10 is a number that when you divide it by 10, the remainder is 7. So 27, 37, 47, that, the highest one will become 97. Okay, you can divide 99 by 10. So that's 9. So 9 times 10 plus 7, we have 97. And that's the answer for that question, 97. Question and clarification for number 17. And question clarification for number 17. Okay, if there's no question for that one, let's try to move forward. Yes, is there? How does or huh? What does, sorry, the modulo, or this what we call a modulo or a mod, right? This is a little bit relation to number theory. So what does mod means again? In a simpler way of explaining it, when you divide x, if you have like x is congruent to uh let's say a mod b, like that one. The main meaning of this is that if you subtract x and a, then it's divisible is divisible by b. I mean, you can divide it by b without the remainder. X is divisible by b. That's the main meaning of the modulo, by the exact meaning, divisible by b. That's the exact meaning of modulo, to be exact. I mean, to be tactical or technical with it. But in such a simple way of memorizing it is technically that when you divide x by b, a is the remainder. That's one way to look at it. So that's why if you look at this one, what is x? X is 7 mod 10. A number that when you divide it by 10, the remainder by 7. It's modulo. M-O-D-O. Mod means modulo. M-O-D-U-L-O. Yes. Okay, so you can study that one also in advance for some of it, especially if you want to go higher in other competitions. Modulo has a lot of power. So a very powerful tool in solving some hard questions. Okay, it's in the number theory book. It's one part of the number theory lesson. But number theory is sometimes not taught in the grade or in the high school level, usually in the college level. Can question clarification for that one, everyone? Okay. If there's none, let's try to move forward to the next number. We're going with the next number. Question number 18. How about this one? How many simplified fractions? Actually, proper fractions should be the exact question here. With denominator of 2023 is are there? Okay, anyone has an answer for this? How many simplified fractions or simplified proper fractions are there with the denominator of 2023? So how will we solve this one? We'll be using what we call the tophet function. So what do I mean by tophet function? We'll be counting actually how many numbers? Ooh, 1632, 6 times 16, 6, 7 times 6 times 16. That'll become 672. Okay, we'll be counting actually this one, the tophet function. So how will we do it for that one? First things first, prime factorization still. Again, for those who don't know, 2023 is factorable to be, wait, it's 7 times 17 squared. Sorry, not 7 squared times 17. 17 squared times 7. But it will not matter actually. 7 times 17 squared. But it will matter for those who don't know. The prime factor of 100 or of what we call this one of 2023 is 7 times 17 squared. Okay, 7 times 17 squared. Okay, so that is actually what we call tophet. It will not end only with that, Austin. It will also expand as long as there is a prime factor. So the rule for that one is a tophet of x, no? Tophet of x. So the tophet of x means that the tophet of x, the one that we're solving here, is what we call tophet. Tophet of x. Technically, when you solve the tophet of x, we're counting how many are relatively prime or co-prime, meaning prime, they are not prime numbers, but they don't have a common factor. How many numbers don't have a common factor with 2023 from 1 to 2023? Because if there's no common factor, therefore the denominator or the fraction will not be simplified anymore. Example, you can have like 12 over 2023. 12 in 2023 has no common factor, so therefore that is already a simplified fraction. So that's why we'll be having the tofient on it. The tofient of x will just be x times 1 minus 1 over a prime factor times 1 minus another prime factor, p sub 2, and so on, as long as there is a prime factor. Again, may I request everyone to kindly mute themselves. Thank you. And therefore, that will be the case. So 2023 times 7. So the tofient of 2023 will be 2023 times 1 minus 1 over 7 times 1 over 1 over 17. We disregard the exponent. We don't need to put the exponent anymore, only the prime factor. So 7 and 17 for that matter. So therefore, 2023 times 1 over 7, that's 6 over 7. 1 minus 1 over 17, that's 16 over 17. Simplify 2023 divided by 7 and 17, that's that should be 17. Yeah, that's correct, right? I think the answer is not 672 for that matter. Yeah, it should be 17 there. So it's 17 times 6 times 16. And the correct answer is 1,632. Yes, that's correct. Hao Ming Kwan, your answer initially was correct. That's very good. 1,632. Yes. I think they got initially when we made this one, we got wrong with the prime factor. But yeah, that's the correct answer. Should be 17 times 6 times 2. The answer should be 1,632. 1,632. Any question and clarification for that one? Again, the prime factors of 2023 is 7 and 17 squared. Knowing that one will greatly help you in solving questions later on. Are we clear with that one, everyone? Clear for that question? Shall we proceed to the next number? Okay, if there's no question, let's try to move forward to the next number then. Question number 19 here. In an isosceles triangle, given a triangle ABC is an isosceles right-angled triangle, which means two sides are equal and angle ACB is 90. If the distance from B to C is equal to or larger than 13 centimeter, find the minimum value of the area of triangle ABC. Okay, so how will we solve for that one? Equal to or larger. We're trying to have that one there. So how will we solve this? So you take note that you have a triangle ACB. Angle C is the one that is 90 because we have angle ACB to be 90 here. Let's try to redraw it here. No, not that one. Let's try to draw the triangle. Do we have a triangle? No, we don't have. Okay, like this one. Then we draw a line here. ABC. Your angle C is actually equivalent to what we call this one. Your angle here will be just 90 to C. ACB, angle ACB is 90. So that's why your angle C is 90. And BC is greater than or equal to 13, this part here. So therefore, if the distance, okay, find the minimum value of the area. Since again, AC and BC isosceles, they will become equal to each other. Okay, I think I did not draw it properly, but they will become equal to each other actually because of the fact that they're isosceles. So therefore, if B to C is actually less than or equal to greater than or equal to 13, also B to A greater than or equal to 13 also. Whatever is the value of your AC, that's also the value of your BC. So therefore, to minimize them, they should be equal both to 13. And using that one, we can use that one to be the area because it's a right triangle. The 13 and the 13 are already your base and height. So 13 times 13 divided by 2, the area is 84 and 1/2. 169 over 2 will do also. 84.5 square units will do also. And that's the answer to our question. 84 and 1/2. Question and clarification for that one. Can you hear me, everyone? Are you still with me? Am I lucky?
No, I can hear you.
That's very good. Thank you for that one then. Okay, question, clarification for that one. 84 and 1/2. Okay, if there's no question with this, let's try to move forward. Yes. Wait, I cannot see the chat anymore. Okay, what was the last shot? Ah, okay, yeah. 84.5. In 799, what country are you from? Yes, Vietnam. Is that the way you write decimal there in Vietnam, right? Because you're following the British English. Am I right? Yeah, I think you can have that one. 84 comma 5. You're following British English right there, right? So in Vietnam, right? Am I correct? 799. Okay. So yeah, you can have it also 84.5 or 84.5. Yeah, it's okay also. Yeah, in Vietnam is correct. Yeah, but if it's in the other countries that are using English or American decimal system, it should be 84.5. Yeah, I can remember that one. It's correct in Vietnam. Okay, but whatever is your country using in decimal, that's the one that you'll be using. You'll be accepting that one also. Okay, but to be safe, we can actually put it in fraction. The safest one, yes. Chenray, Martires, is that correct?
Can it can it be written by an improper fraction?
Yes, actually, also improper fractions will do also for that one. 169 over 2, as what I've said a while ago, it's okay. Yes, it's okay. But the best one is the mixed number form because it's distance. But you can have it all the way like that one. They are still the same. Okay. Let's try to move forward now to question number 20. How about this one? Two identical cuboids are formed by merging 960 cubes with a side length of 101 centimeter. Find the minimum value of the sum of the total surface area of the cuboid. So if you do that one, actually, because it's a cuboid, we are going to do a little bit of a prime factorization for this. But because there are two cuboids, so we'll be dividing actually 960 by 2. Okay. But a little bit of a shortcut for that one. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So for this one, we can actually have what we call this one. 960 divided by 2. But the solution for this one is this. It's two cubes. This is the one cuboid. 6 by 8 by 10. So why did we have 6 by 8 by 10? Because 960 divided by 2, that's actually 480. So if you do prime factorization for that, we need to make the variables or the numbers quite as close to each other. And that should be still an integer. So the 480 could be the closest three numbers that can have a product of 480 will become 6, 8, and 10. That's why that will become our surface area. Then we try to find the surface area. For that, again, the surface area formula is of a cuboid is 2 times length width times length height plus width times height, which is this one, then times 2. Then there's another times 2 because we're trying to find the total surface area of both objects. So that will become like 48 times 80 times 60 times 4. We simplify the 2 times 2 outside. So that's 188 times 4 or 752 centimeter squared as the minimum surface area. Any question and clarification with this one for question number 20? By the way,
Yes.
yeah.
Can you explain what are EW and EH and WH?
Again, that's LW, length, width, and height
I'm
of
sorry. Can you say that?
length,
That's
length.
L. That's not E, right?
Yeah, it's letter L, length, width, and height. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll be using big letters. Are you familiar with cuboid or a rectangular prism or this
Yes.
other term? That's it. We have length, width, and height. So this is the formula
Yeah.
for the surface area, right? Have you
Yeah.
learned the formula for the surface? Yeah, that's it.
And the W and H is like the
You have in a
yeah.
cuboid,
So
you
you
have
multiply width and height.
length. This
So
is yeah, length, width, and height.
Yeah, I see. Thank you. So
Well,
you just have like the width, length multiplied by width,
that's how
length
that
multiplied by height, and width multiplied by height. Is that
yes,
it? Thank you.
yes, times two. Because there, why is it times two? Because there are two. These are actually the area of each faces. Length times height is one face. Height times width is one face. And length times width times height, width times length is another face. So there are actually two mirroring faces from one side to the other. So that's why there's a times two. That's actually the explanation. How did we get the surface area of the cuboid? Sometimes you can actually analyze on your own and you will see how to solve the surface area of any figure. If you'll try to see the area of each faces, then generate your own formula from that one.
I'm sorry, I have another question. Like, can you explain how we can find these dimensions, like the width, length, and height?
Okay, for to minimize, the rule for that one is if you wanted to minimize the surface area, you need to do a little bit of what we call this one, a little bit of making the dimensions to be as close as each other. You need to make the dimensions as close as each other to minimize the surface area. So we have here two cuboids with volume of 960 all in all. That's why we divide it by 2, that's 480. And we do some prime factorization for that. In this part here, you'll a little bit be doing a little bit of a guess and check for that matter. Or you can say you have here the prime factorization of 480 is actually 2 raised to what? 2 for 2 raised to 5. You'll do prime factorization times 3 times 5. So you like regroup them together to make it them as close as each other. It's a little bit of guess and check. But if you are trying okay with this one, been doing this one, it will be a little bit faster because you can group the 2 and 3 like that. You will see that you can group the 2 raised to 3, which is 8, and you can group one of the two to be 2 times 5. But again, that's a little bit of a guess and check. As long as you create as close as possible the values that will make it minimum. So that's why we get the dimension 6, 8, and 10. Did they answer the question?
Yep. So it's just like a guess.
Guess and check also. But you can actually analyze also from that, from your given. You need to analyze it. You cannot make 2 raised to 35 because that's too far. So maybe I'll distribute the 2 because that's too many, 5, 10, or so on. Or what 3 consecutive is, if you can make it consecutive numbers, the better. Like that one. Sometimes it will always, depending upon the number itself.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome for that one then. Okay, let's try to move forward to question number 21. Let's try to go with this. Find if mx9 is the midpoint of point A 2y and point B 24 1. Find the values of y minus x. Again, we'll be using what we call the midpoint formula. So the midpoint formula is just equivalent to your midpoint formula, midpoint, is equal to x sub 1. The dimensions are the points x sub 1 plus x sub 2 over 2. Then y sub 1 plus y sub 2 over 2. Some variables might change from one book to another, but that's what we do. We just need to add the 2 points for this one. So if you look at this one here, the midpoint, or we can solve for your x using that midpoint formula. We'll have x is just equivalent to the average of the 2x part of the point. That's 2 and 24. That's why we have 2 plus 24 over 2. Your x is equal to 13. For the case of your y, you'll be using the y part. So your y, the coordinate of y, or the ordinate of y, which is 9, right now, that's 9, is equivalent to the average of y and 1, or y plus 1 over 2 is equal to 9. So if you distribute that 1 transpose times 2, that will become 18 is equal to y plus 1. By transposition, your y will become equivalent to 17. So therefore, y minus x will be 17 minus 13, and that will become equivalent to 4. Question and clarification for that one before we move forward to the next number. Yes, wait. There's no questions that's popping up. There's a chat, but I cannot see if it's popping up or not. Okay, again, question clarification for that one. Therefore, your answer for this question number 21 is 4. Okay, we do have 30 minutes remaining. Let's try to move forward. We have 9 more questions remaining. Okay, if there's no question for that, let's try to move on to question number 22. Question number 22. An interior angle of a regular n-sided polygon is 9 times the exterior angle of that polygon. Find the value of your n. Your n is a side that's regular. Excuse me. So to solve for the interior angle of a regular polygon, the formula will just be 9 times the other one. Oh, that's so fast. 360 over 18, that's 20. Okay, but the way for this one to be done, for this question will be like this. Take note that the formula for the, the interior angle of an n-sided polygon will be having 180 times n minus 2. This is the sum of the angles in an sum of the interior angles in a polygon. If we divided by n, that will be the interior angle in a polygon. And that is actually equivalent, or that's 9 times the exterior angle. And the exterior angle could be solved by 9 times 1, that's 360. Again, the sum of the exterior angle in a polygon is 360 over n. Okay, that will be the measure of the angle, or one angle, or one exterior angle. Again, the exterior angle, sum of the exterior angles in any polygon is 360. The interior angle will become 180 times n minus 2 over n. So we can cancel out the n here actually. And because of that, we can solve it now using that formula a while ago. We can have 180 divided by 10 is equal to 18, so we divided by 18. Or we'll try to continue with this method. We can have it, or we can cancel out the n. So we have 180 times n minus 2 is equal to 9 times 360. We can divide 180 both sides. Divide 180, cancel this one out. Cancel that one out. So your n minus 2 will become 180, 360 divided by 180, that's 2. 9 times 2, that's 18. So n minus 2 is 18. And therefore, n is equal to 20 by transposition. So now the value of n here in this question is actually 20. Question and clarification with this one. For problem number 22. And question, clarification for this one. Okay, I think there's no question. Let's try to move forward now to the next number. Let's try to go forward to question number 23. How about this one? At least how many pieces can we get if we slice through a cake 10 times? At least how many pieces can we get if we slice through the cake 10 times? So how will we solve for this one? For this one, we have the answer to be 55. That's 1 plus 2 plus 3. But what's the solution for this one, actually? The formula for this is actually, there we have a cake. Most of the time, the cake is circular, right? Circular cake. But actually, it will not matter if it's circular or any figure. Because to solve for this one, this is technically, we're trying to find how many slices can we get? What is at least how many? So that's the minimum number of slices that we can get in this cake if we slice it 10 times. Is it minimum or maximum? Wait. So we're trying to get that one, right? No, at least how many pieces? I think the question here is at most. If it's at least, that will be 11, correct, right? If it's at least. Yeah, I think. But the question here, I think it means how at most. What's the maximum number of slices we can get? If it's minimum, you'll be slicing it like 10 times in the middle, right? So try to minimize the slicing for that. or there will be like 11. If we cut this one here, like this, right? 11, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That should be 11, right? To minimize the slices. That should be 11 if it's minimizing. Okay, I think if it's at least, it should be 11. If it's at most, we'll try to check this one because the questions, I think, the the essence of this question is about the total or the maximum number of slices. The main essence of this question is learning how to know or to know how many slices are there or how many what's the maximum number of regions we can get if we cut a certain plane by the number of lines. Okay, so the formula actually for that one is n, um, 1 plus n times n minus 1 all over 2. That's correct. That's 10. 10 times 9. No. N is the number of slices. N times n plus 1 all over 2. And this is the number of regions, the maximum number of regions you can get if you cut a certain plane with a line. Your n is the number of lines. So how do you cut it? It's a straight line cut. So n is the number of lines. If it's at most for this matter, so the formula will become 1 times n plus 1 over 2. So we have a certain one region. How many regions or maximum regions for that one? That will become 1 plus a 10 slices times 11 all over 2. That's 55 plus 1. We do have 56 slices or 56 slices. This is at maximum. But the minimum again, at least, will be 10. This will become at most. The answer, if the question was at most, I think the answer key have given 56. So I think the target there in the question is at most. But if it's at least, the answer should be 11. 11, right? The minimum will be 11. Yes, if it's at most, then that's 56. Are we clear with that one? So it can be either of the two questions. If it's at least, then you cut the cake only in straight lines, parallel to each other, you'll get 11 to minimize the number of cut. Clear. Question clarification for that one. Okay, if there's no question, let's try to move forward to question number 24. The hypotenuse of a right angle triangle is 18. Find the maximum area for this. The answer is actually 81. How did we solve for that one? So to solve for this is a solution. Again, it's a right angle with a hypotenuse of 18. So if you have that one, this is like the hypotenuse and it's a right angle triangle. So to minimize or maximize the area, actually we'll be making it as isosceles, right triangle. So if it's isosceles triangle with the height of 18 like this, so if you have that one, you can actually if that is actually the isosceles triangle, the height here actually will become half of 18. That's a one theorem for that. Kasi it's because of the fact that it will create half of a square. If it's an isosceles triangle or what we call this one, isosceles right triangle is actually half of a square. So if it's half of a square, the diagonals of the square are equal. That's why we know that that will become equivalent to 9. The height will become equivalent to 9. Therefore, the maximum area that we can have is just 1/2 of 18 times 9. And that will become equivalent to 81. 9 times 9, 81. And that will become the maximum area. Question and clarification with that one. 162. That's 18. I think you forgot to divide it by 2. 18 times 9 divided by 2. So it's because it's 1/2 base times height. Are we clear with this one? It should be 81. The maximum height or the maximum area is 81. Okay. Question, clarification for that one. Question number 24. If there's no question for that, let's try to move forward to question number 25. Am I lucky? Can you hear me, everyone? Are you still with me, everyone? Good evening. Yes, Madeline, any question?
Like the sound stop, I accidentally click reset.
Again?
Sorry, I accidentally clicked the raise hand. I meant to click thumbs up.
Okay, sige. Let's try to move forward and thank you for that. Let's try to move forward then to question number 25. One set of poker have 52 cards, or one set of poker have 52 cards, which have 4 suits, spades, hearts, and diamonds, and clubs, 13, and has 13 values, ace, 2 of 10, 2 to 10, jack, queen, and king. Find the probability that 2 cards drawn without replacement are the same suit, So how will we do, or how will we solve for this one? So the solution for this one is this. We can use, actually, we can have different solutions for this one. Okay, wait. Is there a question? Why is it that there's popping up, but I cannot see the questions? Are there persons who are doing what we call this one, private messages? Okay, so we have here this one. One set of poker have 52 cards, which have 4 suits, right? So we're trying to get here the probability that the 2 cards drawn without replacement are of the same suit. So how will we solve for this one? So for this one here, this will be our solution. So if we'll take example, will be like taking the spades. So there are 13 ways for this face for spade over 52 and 12 ways over 51. So that will become the probability of getting a spade. But again, you can get a heart, a diamond, and a club. So that's why we'll be multiplying it by 4. So 4 times 13 over 52. We can actually simplify. 4 times 13 is 52. That's why it will be canceled out here. And what will be left is 12 over 51, which is simplified to be 4 over 17, since you can cancel out the 3 between the two of them. So the correct answer for this question is actually 4 over 17. Question and clarification for that one before we move forward to our next problem. Question number 26. Again, question clarification for that one. Yes. Okay. How did we get 12 over 51? Again, we selected one suit first. So in each suit, there are 13 values. Example, we get the spades. So in the spades, there are 13 spades initially. So 13 out of 52 cards. Then on the second draw, you'll be having 12 over 51 ways like that one. So that will be the case. And after you simplify that one, there will be like what we call this one. That is for the case of spades only. So simplify that one, then times 4, because you can do that one also in hearts, diamonds, and clubs. That's why we have that one. That's how we get 12 over 51. Did I answer the question? Why is it that there's some chat that being sent, but I cannot see it? Are they direct messages? Did I answer the question, Lipan Min? Lipan Min? I also direct message. I'm so sorry. Did I answer the question? Yes. Okay, that is good then. Let's try to move forward. What does it mean without replacement? So meaning there are some scenarios that you can replace. So meaning if you get the first card, you can replace that one with the same card. So technically, what will be the effect of that in our situation? It will not be 12 over 51 anymore. It will become 13 over 52 still. Because if you get like one card, you'll be replacing it with the same card. Okay, then you have still the intact 52 cards. And the probability will change if that's the case. If with replacement. Yes. Welcome. If it's with replacement. If with that replacement, meaning you need to take note of the probability that if there's one card that will be gone because you are not going to replace that. Okay? Okay. 12 over 51 is 4 over 17. That's correct. You can simplify that one also. Okay, let's try to move forward to the next question. Let's try to have this one. Okay, there are 4 distinct models, Model A car, and 4 distinct Model B cars lining up in a row. Car show. Assume cars, say, of the same model cannot be placed next to each other. How many different arrangements are there? So the answer is actually 1,152. That's 4 factorial times 4 factorial times 2. But what is that? Okay, yeah, this is the solution for that one. Let's try to label the car A to be A1. So because of that, that will become A1. So we cannot have the same models to be beside each other. So we'll have B1, model 2, model A 2, B2, C3, A3, B3, and we have A4, B4. So technically what we do here is A first, then the model B cars, A, B, A, B, alternating because they should not be next to each other. So we have like for the first A car, you have 4 ways. The second A car will have 3 ways. The third A car, that's 2 ways. And the fourth A car, that's 1. So that's 4 factorial for the situation. The same with the B cars, 4 ways for the first B car, 3 ways for the second B car, 2 ways for the first, last, or second to last, and 1 way for the last B car. That's 4 factorial times 4 factorial, then times 2. Why times 2? Because you can interchange. You can go with BA, 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 BA. So it means car B first. That's why there's a times 2. So you'll have 24, 4 factorial, that's 24 times 24 times 2. So that's 1,000. 1,000 or 1,152. Question and clarification for that one.
Uh, sorry, what do you call this? I forgot to ask you this in the beginning.
Yes, yes,
Could
yes.
you please send me what do
Yes,
you
yes.
call this?
I see your private
No,
message.
and I mean the link to solve the problems, like
It will be emailed to you by the Motley.
okay, thank you.
Welcome, welcome. I sent a private message to your chat. I'm considering it. Okay, let's try to move forward. Welcome, welcome. Let's try to move forward. Again, that's the answer, 1,152 for this question. Get question and clarification for that one, everyone? Okay, that's for question number 26. Okay, let's try to move forward to question number 27. We're almost done with this one. Question number 27. 60 cards are marked from 1 to 60, and 2 cards are wait. Wait. Okay, so let's try to have this one. Problem number 27. 60 cards are marked from 1 to 60, and 2 cards are drawn at random without replacement. Again, here, this is without replacement. Find the probability that 2 cards drawn are both multiple of 2 or 7. But there's a term both. I think it should be a multiple of 2. There's no word both for this one, I think. There should be no both for this one, I think. Um, so I think that's a multiple of 2 or 7 only. So how will we solve for this one? So for this, we'll be counting how many multiples of 2 or 7 are there. So how do we count that one? From 1 to 60. So we'll be dividing 60 by 2. And this is what we call the floor function. It means that if we divide at 1, you disregard the remainder or the fraction, the decimal or fractional part. We'll take the whole number part. So 60 divided by 2, that's 30. So it's okay. It's an automatic 30. For 60 over 7, that's 8 point something. But because of the floor function, that will become 8. It means that there are 30 numbers that are divisible by 2 from 1 to 60. There are 8 numbers that are divisible by 7 from 1 to 60. Then minus the numbers that are divisible by 14. Why 14? It's because of the fact that we double counted those numbers that are divisible both by 60, by 2 and 7. That's why we subtract one of the two by dividing or finding how many numbers that are both multiple by 2 and 7 are divisible by 14. So 60 divided by 14, that's 4 point something, or by floor function, that's 4. So 30 plus 8 minus 4, that's 34. So there are actually 34 cards there. that are divisible by 2 or 7, and we'll be selecting 2 out of them. So that's 34 combination 2 divided by, since it's probability, the total weighs 60 cards combination 2. So that will become 34 combination 2 over 60 combination 2. And that will become equivalent to 17 times 11 all over 10 times 59. Okay, and that will become 187 over 590. How did we get again 34 times 33? That's 34 combination 2, right? So that's 34 factorial over 34 minus 2, that's 32 factorial over 2 factorial. Then we divide it by 60. So that's 60 factorial divided by 60 combination to 60 factorial divided by 60 minus 2. That's 58 factorial over 2 factorial. We can cancel out the 2 factorial. We can cancel out the 58 factorial from 60 factorial. We'll be left with 60 and 59. 34 factorial divided by 32 factorial will be left by 34 and 33. So as you go along later on, you can actually develop that habit in doing that one. You can cancel out that part so that it'll be faster. And you can simplify common factors. 34 and 60, that's 7 and 17 with a 3. 11, 33, and 60 has a common factor of 3. That's why it became 11 over 10. Then there's no common factor anymore, so we'll be having 187 over 590. And that's the answer to our question at hand, 187 over 90. Again, question and clarification for question number 27 before we move forward to our last 3 questions remaining. Okay. So with that being said, let's try to move forward to question number 28. How about this one? Choose 3 digits with repetition from numbers 3, 8 with repetitions, means you can repeat 3817 and combine them to form 3-digit number. Of these 3-digit numbers, how many of them are divisible by 9? So once that they will become divisible by 9, we need to take note that we need to have numbers that adding up to 9. So here, we do have limited numbers only. First, we can have 1, 1, and 7. A little bit of listing down. So we have 1, 1, 7. If we use 2, 1, and 1, 7, the sum of the digits will become 9. And there will be 3 ways because this is 3 factorial divided by 2 factorial because there are 2 repeating numbers. There are 3 numbers, you permit it. That's 3 factorial divided by the 2 repeating 2 factorial. That's 3 ways. For the 3, 3, 3, there's only one way to arrange them because all of them are 3. So you write 3, 3, 3 only. For 3, 7, 8, that's like 3 factorial ways because 3 ways for the first, 2 ways for the second, and 1 way for the last. So that's 6. Adding them up, there will be 10 ways. And there's no other way to create a multiple, a 3-digit number that's a multiple of 9 only. So therefore, that will become the final answer for question number 28. Question and clarification for that one before we move forward to the next number. Okay. Okay. If there's no question with that one, let's try to move. Yes. Okay, let's try to move forward to.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, yes.
Sorry, what the 3 dots this side? 3, 1.
That one is therefore. That's actually what we call the symbol form of therefore. It means a
Oh, how does it
conclusion.
mean therefore then?
It
Like,
means
why?
that when you say your conclusion most of the time, especially if it's an argument or proving, once before you say your conclusion, you say therefore. It's like an what we call this one, an interjection. Oh, like oh. So therefore, before you say your conclusion, it's like hence, therefore, then, like that one. So that's the meaning of that. It means that you're preparing to conclude, or you say your conclusion to the question.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Welcome, welcome.
But how does it end up as 10 then? There's 9, 9.
Again. What's the question?
Oh. Sorry, my mistake. I made it.
Okay. So yeah, let's try to move forward then to question number 29. How about this one? There are 5 students here. Okay, 5 students. passing the ball in order. Alice holds the ball first. After five time pass, Alice hold the ball pass again. So how many ways we have? 204 ways. That's correct. So this is the method for this one, for the solution for this question. Again, there are 5 students passing the ball. One of them is Alice. Alice holds the ball A, and the other students, let's say B, C, D, E. So after 5 times, Alice holds the ball now. So the first situation here is again, Alice hold the ball first. So in the first pass, it will be, there's no way that it will be going to her. So there's one way going to B because it will pass by Alice. Going to C, that's one way also. Going to D, it's one way. From Alice, going to E, it's one way also. All of them has one way, the other persons. Now, going to Alice, or so for the second pass, if you want to return it back to Alice, there will be 4 ways because it could be either from all of them, except Alice. But for the case of the other students, there will be 3 ways. Example for student letter B. So there are 3 ways that he can receive it from either students C, D, and E. So we'll be adding these ways now. 1 plus 1 plus 1, that's 3 ways going to B. Then if it's going to see 3 ways also from B, from D, from E, because it will never be coming from Alice right now, because Alice cannot receive the first pass because it's coming from her. So actually the pattern that you will see there, they will be like a little bit different. In the middle here, it's a little bit of, I think the lines get broken down. So actually here in the next part that will become, for Alice, that will become 12. And for the rest of the guys, that will become 13. Where did they get those numbers? So Alice will receive 12 ways oddly because he will be receiving from B, C, D, and E. So all of them are 3 ways. So 3 times 4, that's 12 ways going to Alice. So that's like accumulation of the number of ways before. So that's 12 ways that it can go to Alice in the third pass. 13 for the other boys or the other pupils because it will be tatlong 3 or 3 3s and 1 4. So that's 9 plus 4 from Alice and 3 ways from the other kids. So that'll become 13. All of the rest, also C will have it. 4 from Alice, then 3 except from itself. So that's 9. So that's 13 again, and so on and so forth. So that's 13. Actually, the pattern will still continue the same. Now, after that one, Alice will be receiving from the 4 persons. That's 13 times 4. That's why we have 52. And for the other person, they will receive 12 from Alice and 3 13s from the other set from B, C, D, and E. That's why we have 51, 51, and 51. And lastly, on the fifth pass, we wanted to have it from Alice. That's the question. So this we can disregard actually this part here. So Alice will have 204 ways. For Alice to receive on the fifth pass, it will have 204 ways all in all. That's 204 ways. So the answer to the question is actually 204, not 205. It should be 204. I'm so sorry, it's 204. So that Alice will hold it on the fifth pass, and that will become the answer to our question, 204. Question and clarification for that one? Okay. If there's no question with that, let's try to move forward to the last and final question for today. Exactly 8 p.m. Our last and final question. Let's try to finish it one. How many ways are there to split 2023 students in groups of equal sizes? So that will just be equivalent to technically the number of factors. Okay, the number of factors only. So there are 204 for the last question, but for this one, that's second, the last question that will become 6. How do we solve this one? This is basically the number of factors. If you wanted to divide them, you just need to know how many factors do we have. So each factor will be an equal size group. So for 2023, the prime factors, again, this is 7 times 17 squared. Okay, 2023, 7 times 17 squared, not 49 times 17. It's 7 times 17 squared. So that will become equivalent to 6. So there are actually, therefore, there will be 6 answers for this one because there are 6 factors of 2023. Okay, so that will become, each exponent will be added by 1. So 2 plus 1 for the 2 here, and 1 plus 1, that's 2 again. So 3 times 2 will be having 6. So there are 6 ways to do that one because it has, 2023 has 6 factors for that one. Question and clarification for this one. Okay, if there's no question, I think that will be it for the meantime for today, everyone. Hoping that you've learned something from me. See you again next meeting. See you again, especially for those that are from other countries. Bye-bye. Have a
Thank
Please
you.
check out problem 26. I didn't really get
bye-bye. Again,
Hello,
When will we have the next lesson?
oh, okay. This will be the last. Actually, the one that we had a while ago was session number 3. It's already done, and this one is a mock test question. This is for everyone, not only for those who have availed for the for the questions or for the what we call this one for the review. Okay, this one is for all actually for those who are joining. So we're done with the session. It's already done already because your contest will be next week already, not next Saturday. Goodbye, everyone. Yes. Yeah, I think the videos will be sent in the answer key. Welcome, welcome everyone. Mr. Dong Kong. Yes.
So can I watch the lesson again?
Yes, yes. There will be a video that you can watch the lesson again.
But where can I find that video?
I think emails will be sent to you after this session, maybe within the night, within this time. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Agustin.
Welcome, welcome.
teacher. May I please ask about problem 26?
Problem 26. What's the question there? Goodbye, everyone. For those who are
Why
done with
is
it,
there a times 2? I get the 4 factorial, the 4 factorial.
technically because of the fact that we can arrange it AB. That's 4 factorial, 4 factorial. But you can flip that one. You can make B first, model B, then A.
So basically every arrangement twice.
Yes, yes, twice.
Okay.
Every arrangement twice. Because you can flip that B first before A. Okay. That's it. That's it.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. Hoping that you'll learn something. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Goodbye. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you, sir. Goodbye.
Welcome. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. Within the day, I think. Within the day, it will be sent. I'll be asking within the day. Okay, bye-bye. Bye, everyone.